NBA's trade deadline.
We've also got updates from day 2 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup quarterfinals.
I'm Cheska Tuncalaw.
And I'm Denise Tan, sitting in for Andre Felix.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy Lee. Puts it on. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Oh, the pass! Stuffing another one. Bacunas rejecting Esteban for the point.
After almost a month of turmoil, disgruntled star Jimmy Butler has found a new home in Golden State. NBA insider Shams Charania reports that the Miami Heat agreed to a massive multi-team trade that will send Butler to the Warriors. In return, the Dubs gave the Heat Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. Additionally, Golden State sent Dennis Schroeder to Utah, while veteran PJ Tucker rejoins Miami via the Jazz. Lindy Waters III and Josh Richardson will join the Detroit Pistons from the Warriors and Heat respectively. Right after the deal, Butler declined his 2025-2026 player option in order to sign a 2-year, $121 million extension. This will keep him in the Bay Area through the season. The blockbuster trade ends the drama that saw the Heat suspend Butler 3 separate times since early January. Golden State will be the swingman's 5th team, where he will play alongside fellow vets Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Jimmy Buckets is averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, and close to 5 assists a game this season. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr talks about dealing with changes in his team. Heat captains Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero also spoke on staying the course amid a tumultuous past few weeks.
Yeah, it always feels different. I think the league should consider making the trade deadline, at the All-Star break. Just so you don't have to face these games where guys are getting traded half an hour before and a game, and you're trying to process the emotions and trying to win a game. It's tough. You develop these relationships with guys, and they give you everything and commit to the team, and they've got families. Wiggs just had a baby boy last week. Girls in school. Wiggs is one of my favorite players I've ever coached. Just a beautiful soul. Just a wonderful human being, and we don't hang that banner in 22 without him. So I'm going to miss him, and the other guys too. I mean, Kyle is just the ultimate pro. Dennis, we bring in here, another pro, total pro competitor. We bring in here with the idea that we're gonna have him for a while, and he moves his family and kids, everything. They just moved into a house last week.
When you hear news like that, obviously it's a shift, because it's like, wow. But we still got a game to worry about. I'm worried about getting the win.
Just trying to keep the main thing. We had a task at hand tonight, and that was to get the W. Just clarity is what everyone is kind of searching for at this point in the season. No one wants to be, especially on this team. Our biggest obstacle right now that we have to get over is consistency. So being able to know your role night in and night out, obviously without injuries, is part of clarity, is part of consistency. So right now we're just trying to all get everything in line and just continue to stack good days, and we'll find consistency in that.
Now, the Jimmy Butler bomb wasn't the only one that was dropped on the eve of the trade deadline. The New Orleans Pelicans have also reportedly dealt Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors. In return, New Orleans gets Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. This ends Ingram's tenure with the Pels, where he had spent more than 5 years, but Ingram won't play for the Raps yet due to his ankle injury. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Bucks reportedly traded Chris Middleton to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. The Bucks will also get Patrick Baldwin Jr., Jericho Sims, and a 2025 second-round pick. The Wiz, on the other hand, also received A.J. Johnson and a 2028 first-round pick swap. A third team, the New York Knicks, got Delon Wright and cash. The Wiz also sent away center Jonas Valanciunas to the Sacramento Kings for CDC Sissoko and 2 second-round picks in 2028 and 2029. And the Los Angeles Lakers filled the hole at the 5 spot after landing young 7-footer Mark Williams. In exchange, LA traded away prized rookie Dalton Knecht, veteran Cam Reddish, and draft capital.
For those of you who still can't believe that Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker, well, here's a look at him in his new threads. The Lakers posted pictures of Doncic in their home jerseys, of course, with the number 77. The 25-year-old superstar already had his first practice with the Lakers. He was seen putting up some three-pointers with co-star LeBron James and Austin Reeves in one of the videos. A different clip of him hitting a logo 3 also made rounds online, with Rui Hachimura as foreground. Luka remains day-to-day with his calf injury, but reports say he might make his Laker debut when LA takes on the Indiana Pacers on Sunday, Philippine time. Luka has been out since Christmas Day due to a left calf strain.
From the trading block to a lucrative contract, Lonzo Ball's feel-good NBA comeback just got better. The former second overall pick has agreed to a 2-year extension worth $20 million with the Chicago Bulls. So far, Lonzo has played 30 games this season, averaging 7 points, 3.4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.5 steals in about 22 minutes of play. Ball had been out of action for 2 years before making an unprecedented return from 3 arthroscopic knee operations. His last procedure, which was a cartilage and meniscus transplant, allowed him to give his NBA career a go one more time. Before his knee issues, the 6'6" point guard was seen as one of the league's most promising playmakers. Before his 2-year hiatus, Ball was tallying 13 markers, 5 boards, and as many dimes as a night in 35 regular season matches.
Meantime, Lonzo Ball's batchmate De'Aaron Fox marks his highly anticipated debut for the San Antonio Spurs with a thrilling win. Fox and the Spurs beat the Atlanta Hawks by 1 point, 126 to 125. Swipa dropped a double-double of 24 points and 13 assists in his first game in silver and black. His new partner in crime, Victor Wembanyama, also scored 24 to go with 12 boards. The Spurs and the Hawks traded clutch baskets in the final seconds before Wemby made the winning play at the end. With 2.9 seconds left and the game tied at 125, the French phenom nailed the go-ahead free throw, followed by an intentional miss. The crafty move prevented the Hawks from getting a good look at a possible game winner. Trae Young's 32 markers and 12 dimes went for naught as Atlanta drops to 23 wins and 28 losses for 9th place in the East. San Antonio is 12th in the West with 22 victories and 26 defeats. After the game, Fox talked about his successful Spurs debut, while Wemby spoke highly of his new star teammate.
1000%, man. And I mean, when I came in, everybody told me to be in. I mean, to be myself, not to come in and just try to fit in. But the way that I play, I feel like I'm unselfish. I feel like I've always been in a position to where I had to score a lot of points. And when you have a lot of guys like that, and man, obviously Steph is continuing to learn, and Dev has had big games as well. But when you have guys that are able to get downhill, create their own shot, and also create for others, it makes the game so much easier. And then all of us are athletic, we're long, we're able to get to the rim, and like I said, man, that's why I think that this group could be special.
So Vic, was he all that you thought he'd be?
I mean, of course. I mean, it's a surprise for nobody, but we all for it. We all enjoy it. I mean, just brings a lot on the table for us.
Busy day in the NBA today as 20 more teams hit the hardwood.
Let's take a look at the results. Darius Garland drains a logo 3 at the buzzer to lift the Cleveland Cavaliers past the Detroit Pistons 118 to 115. The Milwaukee Bucks snap a 4-game slide as they defeat the Charlotte Hornets 112 to 102 behind big double-doubles from Damian Lillard and Bobby Portis. The Memphis Grizzlies roll to their 4th win in a row after obliterating the Toronto Raptors 138 to 107. Tyler Hero and the Miami Heat win a duel against Tyrese Maxey and the Philadelphia 76ers 108 to 101. The Washington Wizards are surprisingly rolling as they notch their 3rd straight win by beating the Brooklyn Nets 119 to 102.
Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards comes up 1 point shy of a 50-burger as the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Chicago Bulls 127 to 108. Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. both almost scored 40 in the Denver Nuggets 144 to 119 beatdown of the struggling New Orleans Pelicans. The Utah Jazz rally late to steal a 131 to 128 victory over the Golden State Warriors. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander became the 9th player in NBA history to score at least 50 times in a 7-game span as the league-leading Oklahoma City Thunder cruised to a 140 to 109 win over the Phoenix Suns. And lastly, the Orlando Magic spoil Zach LaVine's Kings debut with a 130 to 111 defeat of Sacramento. Coming up, the Northport Batang Pier are the first team in the PBA Commissioner's Cup semifinals after knocking out the Magnolia Hotshots. The details on that and more when Play-by-Play returns. And we are back. Thanks for joining us here on Play-by-Play. The Northport Batang Pier are through to the PBA Commissioner's Cup semis after eliminating the 8th-seeded Magnolia Hotshots. Although the game was close, Northport played catch-up for the most part in the first half before Magnolia stretched a 6-point lead to 14 at the break, 61 to 47. Come the second half, though, the Batang Pier showed why they're the top seed, going on a huge 19-1 rally to pull ahead in the middle of the third. Magnolia made it interesting late in the payoff period, erasing Northport's double-digit edge to come to within 1. But Paul Lee missed a 4-pointer that could have given the Hotshots the lead in the last 6 seconds. A free throw violation by import Ricardo Ratliff also erased the Hotshots' hopes of pulling off a miracle. Final score 113 to 110. Batang Pier import Kadeem Jack stuffed the stat sheet with 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. Arvin Tolentino put up 25 markers and 2 rejections. William Navarro was a spark plug off the bench with 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals. This is the first time that Northport is moving on to the semis since 2019. Here are Navarro and Batang Pier assistant coach Renzi Bahar talking about the victory.
Every practice namin, challenge ni Coach Bonnie, especially the second group. Because going to the playoffs, Arvin, Josh, and even Kadim, okay, pinaghahandaan na yan ng team. So that's why we need everybody to be involved. not only in the defense but also in offense. In the first half, siguro masyado kaming tight. The same time, gusto namin kaagad na manalo on the first quarter pa lang. That's why, syempre, pinagandaan na yan. Ganda rin ng depensa ng Magnolia. Okay, so kumbaga number 1 defensive team sila for this conference. So aware naman kami doon. That's why on the second half we adjust and the same time kung ano yung binigay ng Magnolia sa amin ng first half, yun din yung binigay namin sa kanila ng second half, which is what? Yung hustle, energy, the same time yung pressure defense din namin going to the second half. Kaya nakahabol kami on the third quarter.
Honestly, it's not even about me. Like, it's about the team effort. So, yun, I'm just happy na everyone, like on the second half, like we share the ball. So that's a key factor. And then, yung effort, everybody's effort nakita sa court.
Meantime, the second-seeded TNT Tropang Giga and seventh-seeded Eastern battle it out in the PBA Commissioner's Cup quarterfinals. It was a neck-and-neck battle in the first half with TNT leading by just 1 point at the break, 51-50. Tropang Giga import Ronde Hollis Jefferson already had 18 points and 7 rebounds after just 2 quarters of play. Eastern import Cam Clark, however, seemingly went down with a hamstring injury after colliding with Boy Eram. It is now the third quarter of the game. TNT holds a twice-to-beat advantage over Eastern. That means if the Tropang Giga win, they advance to the semis.
A couple of Game 2s are on tap in the PBA Commissioner's Cup quarterfinals tomorrow. First up, Barangay Ginebra San Miguel goes for the sweep against the Meralco Bolts at 5 p.m. Ginebra pulled off a 100-92 win in the series opener on Wednesday to move within another victory of advancing to their 7th straight semis. Then at 7:30 in the evening, the Converge Fiber Xers and the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters go head-to-head again. Converge is likewise 1 win away from the semis after a 130-118 comeback win over Rain or Shine on Wednesday. The Fiber Xers are gunning for their first ever semifinals appearance since taking over the Alaska franchise. Tomorrow's games will take place at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium in Manila, but you can also catch the games live on PBA Rush, RPTV, and the Pilipinas Live app.
Moving on to news on college hoops, longtime Maroon Aldis Torculas is bidding UP farewell. UP's Office for Athletics and Sports Development confirmed Torculas' departure earlier today, marking the end of his 6-year journey in Diliman. Torculas started as a junior Maroon before joining the senior team where he played 38 games for UP. He averaged around 3 points and 2 rebounds per contest during the UAP Season 87 championship run. Torculas is now reportedly exploring options in the NCAA where he will have 2 years of eligibility remaining starting in Season 102. Coming up, make it 8 wins in a row for the Creamline Cool Smashers after sweeping the Cherry-Tigo Crossovers. A look into Creamline's latest victory and more when Play-by-Play returns. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. Welcome back. After 8 matches, the Creamline Coal Smashers remain perfect in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. The defending champions made quick work of the Cherry-Tigo crossovers, winning in straight sets 25-17, 25-17, and 25-21. Bea de Leon starred with 13 points off 8 attacks, 3 aces, and 2 blocks. Gemma Galanza added 9 points, while Pangs Panaga and Tots Carlos added 8 points apiece. Cherry-Tigo has now lost 2 in a row after falling to Zeus Coffee last week. The crossovers are now at 5 wins and 5 losses this conference. After the match, BDL and Creamline head coach Sherwin Meneses spoke about the Grand Slam team keeping their focus on the ultimate goal this conference.
Siyempre, malaking tulong sa amin yung panalo ngayon. Kaya kami at nakuha namin yung game ngayon ng 3 sets. Kasi last time, medyo hindi naman nag-relax sa third set, nakuha ng kalaban yung third set. Ngayon, naging lesson sa amin yung last game namin. So, sobrang thankful sa mga player din na nag-response dun sa third set. Siguro, same lang nung every game na pakiramdam namin. Kasi hindi naman namin tinitake advantage na 8-0 pa. Basta kami, 1 game at a time lang kami. Yun lang yung iniisip namin. Pero syempre, masaya. Maganda yung naging resulta ng game. Pero sa tingin ko, mahaba pa yung pagdadaanan namin talaga kasi sobrang haba ng conference. Doon muna kami nakafocus sa every game na gagawin namin.
Same rin naman with coach. Ako actually relatively bago ako dito. So from the outside coming in, hangang-hanga ako sa mindset nila kasi kahit ganun nakataas yung naabot nila. Coming in, the work ethic is still so high. Ang taas ng disiplina, ang taas lagi ng level ng training, and yun, nakaka-motivate din yun on my part na makita kasi kahit despite all the greatness that they've already done, it's still 100% all in as if hindi pa sila nanalo, hindi pa kami nanalo before. So yun, talagang hanga-hanga rin ako with that part, and I think like what Coach Sherwood said, mahaba pa. Of course, it's a nice place to be in now, pero mahaba pa yung season, sobrang dami pa naming tatrabahuin. I think it's very innate. So culture thing siya, especially with Adelaide establishing it na we keep going, we keep learning. Kahit ano pang naabot natin, there's always room for more.
The Signal HD Spikers are back in the win column of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. After back-to-back losses, the HD Spikers made sure to vent their ire against the struggling Capital One Solar Spikers. Final score here, 25-12, 25-15, and 25-17. Judith Abil led the way for the HD Spikers with 13 points on 10 attacks, 1 block, and 2 service aces. Ishi Lalong Isip also had 13 points, while Roslyn Doria Aquino added 11 in the win. Signal improves to a 6-3 record, while Capital One drops to 1-8. After the match, Abil and Lalong Isip spoke about the trust given to them by Coach Shaq De Los Santos following the departure of several players from the team.
Sa akin po, parang mas parang in positive side. Nagkaroon ako ng playing time, so mas na-maximize ko din kung ano yung meron ako, and everyday, ayun, katulad nga ng sinabi ni Coach Shaq, tiyaga lang palagi.
Sa akin naman po, kung gaano yung binigay ng tiwala ng mga coaches, ni Coach Shaq sa akin, gusto ko din, yun yung ilalagay ko din sa sarili ko, yung tiwala din sa sarili na, yun. At magtrabaho lang, trabaho. Tiyaga lang din po, sa training.
I think halos parehas lang naman yung galaw. Wala naman masyadong mas siguro sa training lang na naging adjustment namin this year, mas pinabibilis talaga din namin yung galaw. Kasi syempre, yun nga, like doon sa nabanggit mo against sa Creamline, kumbaga, yung naging performance namin, sobrang happy kami doon sa naging result. And kung nandun na kami sa level na yun, mas siguro pang hawakan namin yun, or better kung may improve pa namin.
We We've got volleyball and basketball in tonight's highlight reel. And who better to start us off with the PVL than Denise Tan?
Okay, let's start. First from the PBL, we have Cherry, Tigo, Gaston with a serve. Galanza keeps it in play. Negrito to Lonzo Ball with a power hit and a headshot at that. To Alina Vicar, no worries, because quick apologies coming from the Phenom. It is a love month, of course. Of course, it's so nice. As they say, you got to see it twice. Eliza Valdez finishing with 7 points, and the Cool Smashers went to win in straight sets against the Crossovers.
All right, and over to the next play. We're moving over to the PBA Northport versus Magnolia, where import Kadeem Jack steals the ball from Jerome Lastimosa, then goes coast to coast for the slam with a not so polite get out of the way, save Lucero and Calvin Abueva. Jack posted 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 blocks, and Northport is through to the semifinals of the Commissioner's Cup after beating Magnolia 113-110.
Now let's go to the NBA, where we have the Spurs versus the Hawks. You have newcomer De'Aaron Fox trying to toy with the defense, going for the drive, but a miss. Wemby is there to save the day, to the rescue. I mean, turning garbage into literal highlight-worthy goal. Take a look at it again. Slamma jamma. What a put away by the French phenom, sneaking in for that jam. And Wemby had 24 points and 12 boards. Swipa finished with 24 markers as well and 13 dimes. Double trouble for the Hawks as the Spurs win it 126-125.
Finally, we are going to look at the Cavs versus the Pistons with the clock winding down. Darius Garland hits the game winner from the logo. Absolute heartbreaker for Detroit. Garland taking the ball out. We're going to break down the play. He passed it to George Niang. Then he ran past Cade Cunningham, Oscar Thompson, and Jalen Duren for the win. DG finished with 25 points and 5 assists as he led the Cavs to a 180-115 escape. Look at that stance. Look at that pose. Yes, teammates, it is time to shower me with adoration for winning this game for us. And that is what I'm going to do to Denise Tan when this show is over.
Sabi ng Detroit, dart sa heart.
Wow. Parang may hugot somewhere yon.
No, it was
Denise,
a heartbreaker,
before.
like what you said.
All right. And before we go, speed skater Peter Grosclose and curling athlete Kathleen Duberstein will lead Team Philippines in the opening ceremony of the 2025 Asian Winter Games. The two will carry the Philippine flag during the Parade of Nations on Friday, representing a determined 20-athlete delegation backed by the Philippine Olympic Committee. The Philippines will compete against 1,255 athletes from 33 Asian nations across 64 events in 11 sports. Grosclose will race in short track speed skating, while Duberstein is competing in women's curling as well as mixed doubles with Mark Pfister. The pair is already heading to the playoffs after winning 4 of their 5 games in the elimination round. And that is all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 9 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV, Channel 8 on SD, and Channel 250 on HD. We're also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Chescalet Calao.
And I'm Denise Tan, sitting in for Andre Felix. Thank you for watching.